As predicted, liberals are trying to blame everything but the cause of the shooting at YouTube headquarters. Now, look, no one wants to see a shooting. No one wants to see a shooting of one person. No one wants to see a mass shooting, unless, of course, it's the police shooting some deranged criminal who's trying to hurt other people. Then we're fine with those kinds of shootings, or our troops killing terrorists. I'm good with that all day long. But the shooting at YouTube was tragic at their headquarters in San Bruno, California. It's always tragic when people who are just going about their day, going to work, are shot. Now, at last count, there's 1 dead, the shooter, 3 wounded. The shooter's name is Nasim Agdam, the woman who appears to be mentally ill. Now, a lot of speculation online that she had ties to radical Islam, other religious sects that have partaken in terror. I've dug in quite a bit last night and this morning. I can't find any connection. Now, I don't like that the mainstream media is not at least exploring these connections. We, unfortunately, in a post-9/11 world, have to explore them. But as I dig into this, and I dig in deeply, and look, I'm a guy who's not afraid to call it out. You watch me, you know that. I don't see any connection right now between this woman and radical Islam. It appears she was a troubled woman. And that's what the segment is about. Look, I can tell you from my days in law enforcement 20 plus years ago, there has always been, and there still is, a fundamental but a very troubling and an unworkable disconnect between mental illness and prevention of crime. Now, I am not a guy that likes to ever even use the crime prevention, because I think that it provides people with a false sense of security. There is no panacea. There's no panacea when it comes to crime prevention. Crime has always happened. Bad things have always happened to good people. Bad things will always happen to good people. It's the nature of living in a free society. It's the nature of living on planet Earth. It's human nature. People do things in the heat of the moment. Domestic incidents are, for the most part, impossible to prevent unless you're going to station a police officer in people's homes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and have that police officer stand between the two people. The crime will always happen. It's very, very difficult to prevent it. But the troubling common denominator in these shootings, in these mass shootings, and in many of these incidents, is that law enforcement was given a warning. Law enforcement had a heads up on the person. And so seems to be the case with Nasim Agdam, the YouTube shooter. She apparently was a troubled woman. She had complained to YouTube because they demonetized her video, like they did to many other people, like they've done to many companies, like they've done to us at The Rebel. Many, many people have been affected by YouTube's algorithm change and their demonetization policies, but those people did not go and commit violence. They didn't go and shoot up YouTube's headquarters. Nasim Agdam did. And when you watch her videos, when you look at the evidence that's starting to trickle out, it becomes, I don't want to say crystal clear, but increasingly clear that this woman had some problems. The videos made her appear to have problems. The nature of her threats to YouTube appear to indicate she had some kind of mental problems. I'm not going to diagnose that. I'm not a mental health professional. There are people far more qualified than I am to do that. What I want to talk about is the disconnect. Law enforcement is getting a bad rap, and in many respects they should. And it pains me to say that as somebody that loves that profession. But in many respects, they should. The Broward County Sheriff's Office fell down on Nicholas Cruz in Parkland. Now, this appears in San Bruno, California. The YouTube shooter appears to be one warning. We don't have enough evidence yet whether or not we can villainize the law enforcement agencies in the area on this one. But we simply don't, and I don't want to do that if it's done unfairly. But what I will tell you is this. There is a legislative gap and a monetary gap, a funding gap between what the police can do with those who are mentally ill. There simply isn't enough money to enable the police to do what they should be able to do when called to the scene of someone who's mentally ill. And I'm going to go very deep into that. I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to tell you some personal experiences I had on the street in dealing with mentally ill people when I wished I could have done more. But I just couldn't. My hands were tied. I'm going to tell you all about it today on The Rebel, right here on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified. This is really important subject matter, really, really important subject matter that gets to the heart of many of the problems that we're facing. as a society today, and I want to bring it to you every day. So help me do it by subscribing to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows.